everyone, and welcome to Season 2 of Empowerment and Illness. I am your host, Gwen, and today we're diving into a topic that hits close to home for many of us: working while dealing with a chronic illness. It's a journey full of ups and downs, and today we'll explore both the challenges and the silver linings. So, let's start this journey. To kick things off, let's talk about what it means to manage a chronic illness while holding down a job. Chronic illnesses can range from autoimmune diseases like rheumatoid arthritis and lupus to conditions like diabetes, fibromyalgia, and chronic fatigue syndrome. These illnesses often require ongoing treatment and management, which can make balancing work and health a real juggling act. Imagine waking up every day with pain or fatigue and still having to perform at your best. It's tough, right? Yet many people, including myself, do it daily. Chronic illnesses can be invisible, meaning your coworkers might not realize what you're going through. This could lead to misunderstandings and misconceptions, especially if you need frequent breaks or sick days. The stress of managing symptoms alongside responsibility can be overwhelming. The demands of different jobs can vary greatly. A desk job may seem more manageable than a physically demanding role, but even office work can pose challenges like long hours of sitting, screen time, and the pressure to meet deadlines, especially if you have brain fog. We'll discuss all these aspects in detail as we move forward. Let's start with the tough stuff, the negative side of working with a chronic illness. One of the biggest challenges is the unpredictability. You might have a great day where you feel almost normal, followed by a day where getting out of bed feels impossible. This unpredictability can make it hard to maintain a consistent work schedule. Then there's the physical toll. For instance, someone with rheumatoid arthritis may struggle with typing or other repetitive tasks due to joint pain. If you have chronic fatigue syndrome, even staying awake through a meeting can be an enormous task. These physical challenges can limit your productivity and make you feel like you're not meeting expectations. Mental health is another critical aspect. Dealing with constant pain or fatigue can lead to anxiety and depression. There is also the stress of wondering if your illness will affect your job security. Will your boss understand if you need a day off for treatment? Will your coworkers see you as unreliable? These worries can weigh heavily on your mind. The fear of discrimination or being perceived as a liability can make you hesitant to disclose your condition. Moreover, the financial burden of managing a chronic illness can add to stress. Medical bills, treatment, and medications are costly, and the fear of losing your job and health insurance can be terrifying. All these factors can create a vicious cycle where stress aggravates your symptoms, making it even harder to work. So how do you navigate these challenges? One key strategy is open communication. If you feel comfortable, have an honest conversation with your employer about your condition. Discuss any accommodations that might help you perform your job better, like flexible hours or the option to work from home. Another important tip is to prioritize self-care. This might mean scheduling regular breaks throughout your day to rest or doing gentle exercises to manage pain. It's also crucial to listen to your body and know when to step back. Pushing yourself too hard can lead to flare-ups and make your conditions worse. Keeping a health journal can be beneficial. Track your symptoms, treatment, and how different activities affect your condition. This information can help you and your healthcare provider make better decisions about managing your illness. It can also serve as a useful tool when discussing accommodations with your employer. In addition, Consider building a support network at work. Identify colleagues who understand your situation and can offer support when needed. Sometimes just knowing you have allies can make a big difference. Lastly, don't be afraid to seek professional advice. Career counselors and occupational therapists can provide valuable guidance on managing your condition at work. They can help you identify strategies and accommodations that can make your work life more manageable. Now, let's shift gears and talk about the positive side of working with a chronic illness. And yes, there are positives. For many, work provides a sense of normalcy and purpose. It's a reminder that despite your illness, you're still capable and contributing. Work can also be a great distraction. When you're focused on a project or task, it can take your mind off your symptoms, even just for a little while. Plus, the social aspect of work, interacting with colleagues, feeling part of a team, can be incredibly uplifting. Let's not forget the financial independence that comes with working. Managing a chronic illness can be expensive with medical bills, treatment, medication. Having a steady income helps alleviate some of the financial stress. Furthermore, overcoming the challenges of working with a chronic illness can boost your self-esteem. Each day, you push through and accomplish your task. You're proving to yourself just how strong and resilient you are. This can foster a sense of pride and empowerment. Additionally, your experience can inspire others. By sharing your journey and the strategies you use to manage your condition, you can provide valuable insights and encouragement to colleagues or others in your network facing similar challenges. Working and living with lupus has been challenging at times. I've also had the pleasure of having colleagues support me. Before I was diagnosed in '93, I worked at a company where my supervisor was not supportive. I had chronic fatigue and was losing weight. She said I looked sick and she doesn't want to see me and that I should not come to work. I told her she would need to terminate me because my job was not suffering. Of course, I eventually left the job, but for a while, I did my work and I was proud of it. When I left, I went on disability until my illness was under control. Then I started back working, and I worked at a plumbing company, and everyone there was supportive. I had most of my surgeries while working at that company. The owner of the company told me I added value, and he would support me in any way. I worked for that company for 13 years. I eventually left the company to go back to school and to take care of my daughter. I went to school and got my bachelor's degree and received my master's degree. I found a job working at the Y. This position was just to get me back in the workforce. I hid my illness because I didn't feel secure. I wasn't sure if my supervisor would be supportive. I remember a time when I was chosen for jury duty and she was upset about it. She told me I needed to come to work after leaving jury duty to complete my work duties. After that conversation, I started looking for another job. As I was interviewing for another position, I found out I had breast cancer. When I received the call that I got the job, I informed the HR director that I needed to extend my start date. I informed her I was diagnosed with breast cancer and that I was having surgery. She was okay with it. We talked about it and I told her about lupus. So by the time I started working there, I was wearing my bulletproof vest. I call it that, but it's a special bra that you have to wear after breast surgery. She had no problems or no concerns about any of my illnesses or anything. So after that, I started my start date and I worked there for 5 years. Today, my supervisor knows about lupus, but she does not know I'm a breast cancer survivor. I've shared my diagnosis because I was having issues. I've been having more flare-ups lately. Since I've been working here, I've had 2 battles with COVID due to work functions. My co-workers do not know I have lupus, but they know I've had many surgeries. I've had to use my cane on some days and I am unable to walk. I have to say I feel very fortunate to have had the support I've needed during my working career. Some of the people I know are unable to disclose their illness for fear of losing their positions or having someone think that they are unreliable. One of my co-workers from another company is going through the same issue. He wants to be a part of the podcast but does not want to disclose his name for fear of being exposed. We need to remove that stigma. People should have the right to come and talk about their illnesses without having the fear of losing their job or having someone judge them. I hope our stories highlight the importance of understanding and support in the workplace. With the right accommodations and a supportive environment, it's possible to thrive at work despite a chronic illness. Now, a word for employers out there. Creating an inclusive workplace for employees with chronic illnesses is not just about being compassionate. It's about also tapping into the full potential of your workforce. Flexibility is key. Offering options like remote work, flexible hours, or part-time schedules can make a big difference. Educate yourself and your staff about different chronic illnesses. This can foster understanding and reduce stigma. Encourage open communication and provide a supportive environment where employees feel comfortable discussing their needs. Providing reasonable accommodations is crucial. This might include ergonomic workstations, adjusted workloads, or time off for medical appointments. Remember, accommodating an employee's needs can lead to increased productivity and loyalty. Additionally, promoting a culture of wellness can benefit everyone. Implementing programs that encourage physical and mental health like wellness days, mindfulness sessions, or fitness challenges can create a more supportive and inclusive environment. Finally, recognize and appreciate the unique strength and perspective that employees with chronic illnesses bring to the table. Their experiences often make them resilient, empathetic, and resourceful, qualities that are valuable in any workplace. As I wrap up, I want to highlight some resources. There are many support networks and organizations that offer help to those working with chronic illnesses. Websites like the Job Accommodation Network, JAN, provides guidance on workplace accommodations. They offer free, expert, and confidential guidance on workplace accommodations and disability employment issues. Support groups, both online and in person, can offer a sense of community and understanding. Platforms like Facebook, X, formerly known as Twitter, and Reddit have numerous groups where people share their experiences and advice. These communities can provide emotional support and practical tips for managing work and illnesses. Don't hesitate to seek professional help. whether it's from a counselor to deal with the emotional aspects or a career coach to navigate job-related challenges. Therapists can help you develop coping strategies for the stress and anxiety that often accompanies chronic illnesses. Another excellent resource is the Chronic Illness Inclusion Project, which offers research and resources to help those with chronic illnesses advocate for their needs in the workplace. Before we leave, I want to remind everyone of our segment that I call Healing Heartbeats. It is where we allow ourselves 3 minutes each day to laugh, cry, scream, cuss, or sit in silence. This time is allotted for you to wallow in sorrow, feel the pain and depression. Whether you're dealing with mental or physical pain, your body doesn't know the difference. After the 3 minutes, compartmentalize it and go back to living. This behavior is a rinse and repeat behavior to help us deal with depression. We must continue to walk in positivity when dealing with a chronic illness. Every day doesn't have to be a struggle. Some days will be, and we are here for you to lean on. You are never alone. This segment is to help you live. Our goal is to live a productive and thriving life. You know, when they talk about someone and they talk about their lives, they have a day that they were born and the day that they passed away. There is a dash in the middle. It's not a long line, it's a short dash. That dash is your life. I encourage you and everyone to go and live your life because life is short. That's it for today's episode of Empowerment in Illness. Remember, balancing work and a chronic illness is challenging, but it's also possible to find fulfillment and strength in your journey. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, share, like, and let others know who might benefit. Join me next week as we continue to explore more ways to empower ourselves in the face of chronic illness. Until then, remember, you have the strength, support, and the heart to continue your journey. Be safe.